love his song about police violence. I remember the lights were flickering on and off in this old rundown church that we were listening to it in when he started singing about that. I just feel like every time I hear that song, I really feel really powerful energy about that theme, something I also really care about. So thanks so much for coming to the Accordion Festival. How's that going for the sound check? Yeah, I think it sounds pretty good. Was that a good movement of just over here? It's okay? It's okay? You can hear that? Okay, cool. Nice. I'm playing with Felix today on the trumpet. Excited to play you guys some music. Okay, nice. Okay, nice.
But hey, what have I got to say that Lucy hasn't already said? She has CDs for sale. If you want to buy a CD using debit, credit, or Apple Pay, etc., come see me, because I now accept digital tips and merch. Otherwise, money in the tip jar. Stay hydrated with the drinking fountain. Our organic farmer Dan has shown up behind us over there, and Lucy plays mostly jazz, accordion, and piano at other places around town. Keep your eyes peeled for her.
Thank you.
Over to Lucy and Felix.
I might need to move this a little bit because it's just a little bit behind the. Thank you. Can we just put it in front like that? Is that okay? Or to the side of it? Cool. That was a song by Edith Piaf. A lot of the repertoire, when I started learning accordion, I was really obsessed with all of the French accordion repertoire, like the stuff from the Jan Tiersen, Amélie Poulain soundtrack. I learned that whole album on accordion when I was first starting, and then I got really into the waltz musette, the Django Reinhardt style of French accordion, European jazz music, which kind of led me more into playing jazz piano, which is kind of more of my thing now, but I actually went all over Europe for a few years there. I went to France, and I busked in the streets, and traveled around with my accordion a lot, especially when I was in my early 20s, so I always think of accordion as an incredible instrument for street performance and busking, which is kind of my roots as a musician, so I feel always grateful when instruments are portable. Piano is really hard to bring around, but I still I like it also. That's how I got good at playing keyboard, was just performing with jazz accordion in the street, so I guess we all kind of have our own way of finding the music that we like and gravitating towards what works for us in our lifestyle, which is kind of cool. That's a good one. Moonlight in Vermont. Yes. Cool. I'll just sing it. Perfect. Cool. Nice.
Telegraph cables sing down the highway, travel each bend in the road. People who meet in these romantic settings are so hypnotized by the lovely evening summer breeze. so hypnotized by the lovely evening summer breeze of the November moonlight in Vermont,
Thanks. I learned that tune when I was down in New Orleans earlier this year. It's more from the New Orleans jazz repertoire. Actually, maybe, yeah. One, two.
these autumn leaves roll by my window, these autumn leaves of red and gold. I see these lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to know. Since you went away, the days grow long. Now I'll hear a winter song, but I'll miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves do fall. Autumn leaves roll by my window, these autumn leaves of red and gold. I see these lips, these summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to know. Since you went away, the days grow long. Now I'll hear a winter song, but I'll miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves do
Thank you so much. I do have CDs for sale. I released a new jazz album this year that I did with my quintet. I usually play around town with, sometimes with Felix here, sometimes with a sax player and a whole jazz band. You can catch us play at the Sylvia Hotel or at Second Floor in Gastown and a lot of other venues. If you're interested, you can give me a follow on social media. Lucy Lambert's Violet Drift is the name of my jazz project. And we have both our albums out on Spotify on all platforms. If you'd like to grab a copy of a CD, you can just throw 10 or 20 bucks in the case and grab one while I'm playing if you'd like to. Thank you. That's one of my favorite tunes of Django Reinhardt. That's some of the repertoire for jazz accordion that I really love. What a lot of people don't know about Django Reinhardt is he actually was really influenced in developing his style of jazz manouche by the accordionist that he would play with in Paris in the 1920s. So even though accordion is a really underrated instrument for jazz, it actually had a big part in helping Django Reinhardt to develop his style of jazz manouche, which he often played with the violinist Stefan Grappelli, which is a style of jazz that I really love, and one of the only styles of jazz that actually originated in Europe. All the other ones come from the United States. A little bit of accordion trivia for you.
spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I hope for and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. To the moon and let me sing above the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
Thank you. This is another one. Here's another one from the French accordion repertoire, Indifference. Thanks so much. Give it up for Felix here on the trumpet. And I'm Lucy Lambert. Thanks so much for coming out to the festival. If you enjoyed the music, please tip the bands and have CDs for sale as well. Have a great day.
Lucy Lambert and Felix still have time to put money in the tip jar, still have time to buy merch, but otherwise, it's a wrap. It's been nice seeing you. I hope we see you on September 7th and September 21st, because we ain't done. You can follow us on Facebook or send an email message to MacLeanParkMusic@gmail.com to stay in the loop for who's playing and when and all that kind of stuff. Because I'll tell you now, but you'll just forget.